Hey guys, and welcome back to Common Courtesy. I am Shawn Nicholas, aka Desire Some More. I'm here with my co-host,
Ashley Renee, host of Sex with Ashley Renee on YouTube.
Hello. How you doing tonight? Today, sorry.
Definitely daytime. Please don't get ahead of yourself. I don't have enough hours in the day as it is. I'm good.
Good?
Busy with school. What about you?
I'm well. I just want to mention really fast, Nikki isn't with us today. She's dealing with some personal stuff, and we wish her well.
Yeah. Keep her in your thoughts.
Keep her in her, yes, please. And we will see her back when she's ready. And anyway, so, oh my goodness, so this movie came out this weekend. There's a lot of things that happened this weekend, but this movie came out this weekend called Hustlers, starring Jennifer Lopez.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I want to see it so bad.
I know, we keep talking. I want to see it really bad because, you know, it was based off this article called Hustlers at the Scores. It was written for The New Yorker. It was this woman investigating it's an actual true story. And once you read this article, honestly, dude, like, you be thinking, I was left with thinking, like, what am I doing wrong with my life? Like, they were making thousands of dollars. Like, let me give you a little lowdown. It's not going to ruin the movie. But what happened was they were strippers, right? And they had, like, the champagne room, like, you know, the room to bring the guys back in there. So what they would do was they would take, like, you know, a mix of, like, I think it was cocaine and, like, a little ecstasy and, like, meth like that. And, like, they would take, like, just a sprinkle. Like, if you read the article, the woman explaining it is the character being played by Constance Wu from Fresh Off the Boat. Okay. She's like telling the story. She's like, it wasn't a lot. We just put a little sprinkle in it, and it would make the guys happy, and they would give us their credit cards, so they would run up charges. So how they got paid was, I guess it was like do like an open item or something like that, and like charge like thousands of dollars to their cards. And they only got caught. She goes, you know, the only reason we got caught was because we got greedy. She's like,
thousands of dollars later.
Yeah, dude. Like she says, when I was spending like $2,000, I wouldn't even like flinch at spending like $1,000 on a new pair of shoes. And these people are strippers, and she's a mother. She was a mother of like 2 children, and she had to find a way to support her family. And you know, so it's a really good article, and I hope the movie's even better.
To support your family.
No,
that's the moral of the story. Commit fraud, everybody.
No, but it's a really good movie. Because I mean, a lot of people think that television and movies come from, you know, the ether, like it's an imagination. But a lot of these things are actually based in real facts. Like the article reads like a movie. I could write the movie myself after reading that. But anywho, also as well, the Emmys just happened this weekend as well. And I just wanted to point out, what's Jonathan? I think his name is Jonathan Van Ness.
Yes, that sounds familiar. Van Ness. Proud of you. We can do names.
From Queer Eye, the new version of Queer Eye. The whole cast was there on the red carpet, but Jonathan had the best outfit on. He came out in a little mini skirt. Well, I think not the best, but the most daring and just out there. Like it's just that's his character. He wore this black mini skirt, and then he had like is that a mini skirt? No,
mini
dress, yeah. And then it was like a big,
nice
obnoxious. He had this obnoxious like blue, huge like ribbon in the back just to be obnoxious, and it was just amazing for me. And then Tan had this like cool like Indian like little outfit on. He looked amazing. I don't.
No French talk. For people who watch Queer Eye, you know what I mean.
Right, but like, you know, I like that cast. We were just saying earlier how diverse they are, you know?
Yes, you get to see a little bit of all kinds of representation. Even as a bisexual woman who shouldn't be able to relate to these guys, I can. You know, I'm like, oh yeah. And then Anthony.
Don't talk about my boyfriend like that. He is so hot.
I
know.
Remember?
Okay, wait. Do you remember the first season? There's the first season episode where they're at that black guy's house, and then they changed his outfit, and he came out, and he was so hot. And Anthony was like, I can't concentrate. He's like, does anyone need a glass of water? Wait till you get the episode. It's so much fun. All right, so we're going to get started today with some fun topics. We're going to have some fun today. All right, so fun.
Is it ever really fun here?
Yeah, it is because I think we started this show. Well, I started this show because I wanted to get information out to people. Be informed about things. Because a lot of times in the last election, the presidential election, I felt like people weren't really informed about the policies and what people were talking about. Even Donald Trump, I don't know how he won. He ran on nothing. He ran on promises made, promises kept, but he never made actual promises except for build the wall. But anywho, I think that we have to stay informed, even being young. Because
Right.
I was in this.
Especially being young. This is our country that we're molding.
Yeah, because this guy, he was saying, the debate started last night. He was saying, we're talking about voting. Because my question is, he was saying how some votes don't count. I've been hearing that a lot. Like my brother said that. I'm not sure if you heard your own friends say that or anyone.
Oh, definitely. Especially around the 2016 election.
Right, and he also said that he wrote in Bernie Sanders. So my question is, before I ask the question, last election we had a lot of different candidates. We had Donald Trump, we had Hillary Clinton. We also had two other candidates like Jill Stein and the other guy, the guy from the Green Party. So they were
No, he was independent.
Independent. Okay.
She was Green Party.
So what's his name? Like Dan Green. I don't remember his name. Doesn't
that
matter.
That one guy.
But it was kind of like reminiscent of what happened with Bob Dole and Al Gore and George Bush when that election happened. They had this extra party to vote for, and it kind of split the vote, and not in a good way. Well, right. For me, I wouldn't say I'm a Democrat, but I was voting Democrat. So with this Jill Stein character and the other guy with Hillary Clinton, some people voted for them or they didn't vote at all. Right. So my question is there such a thing as a wasted vote? Because he said my vote is wasted anyways. Mm. How do you feel? And I will go after you.
Yeah, I really think that the only wasted vote is a non-vote.
Right.
You have to, even if you, for example, during these last local elections, like for governor and whatnot, mm-hmm. I voted for a gentleman who I knew wasn't going to win, but his views lined up with mine, perfectly. Mm-hmm. So I was in a position where I was like, well, do I vote for Andrew Gillum, who I know is the runner, who I don't necessarily agree with all of them, but just because I want the house to be blue, mm-hmm. or do I vote with my moral leanings? And I ended up, deciding to go with my moral leanings because you shouldn't be voting based on party. Mm-hmm. You should be voting based on your own beliefs.
Right.
So I feel like, and at the time in the 2016 elections, I was one of those people who was like, oh, you wasted your vote. You should have just that they weren't going to win, so why didn't you just vote for Hillary Clinton? Because I'm Democrat. And but now that I think about it, you have a right to vote for whoever you want to. You have an obligation to vote for who you believe in.
Right.
Even if they're probably not going to win, that's still you saying, I believe. So, like, for example, take the percentage of people who voted for Jill Stein. Even though she didn't win, we can take this information and see, oh, there's a significant amount of people who want this, this, and this. Maybe that can be integrated into current policy. So even the winner can look and learn from how these other people voted. So the only true wasted votes, in my opinion, are people who don't vote, and then those dumbasses mm-hmm. who wrote in Harambe or something ridiculous. I don't know, SpongeBob, just stupid. Oh, now that grinds my gears.
That grinds my gears. I mean, I believe in voting for, whatever you believe in, whatever or not, but I am still one of those people that it's for me, it's kind of like being an adult about things. Like, politics isn't an easy thing for people to understand because it's more or less you're selling yourself, but you're also making promises for people, but you're also everyone's president or governor or whatever, whatnot, senator. You're not just one party's senator. I still kind of think sometimes, I'm like, I wouldn't have voted for someone who I know who's not going to win because now we have Trump. Like if right. From my point of view, I think that those 3% or 3% vote that went to Jill Stein, or whatever other percent, the other guy, I can't remember his name, the Green Party guy, if that was added to like Hillary Clinton, like I don't like that. I don't like her as a politician at all. I like Bernie Sanders. But I do think that she was a lesser of two evils, and we wouldn't be in all this crazy shit that's going on and all the divisiveness in this country. But I found interesting, though, was, I mean, when he said he wrote his vote in, I found that interesting. It's like, there's comes a point when you want to be a rebel, but there also comes a point where you have to be responsible for not only yourself, but the country. Because wasting your vote like that, or not even voting, to me, I was like, I informed him, I'm like, do you not remember the 60s and the 20s where women fought for the right to vote? Blacks and people of color fought for the right to vote. People have died for this simple right that a lot of people are just born with. And a lot of countries, you can't vote for who, like you can't vote for the president. You don't have a say. So, I mean, just my point of view, I felt that was a wasted vote. If you're not, I mean, it is a lesser of two evils. It sucks that there are only two major parties. But I agree with you when you said, whoever didn't win, you'll take whatever policies that they, like Jill Stein.
Right.
I would take her policies into my administration. That's what I thought would happen with Donald Trump, because that's what Obama did, because he ran against Joe Biden before he won, he became his running mate. So right. I definitely agree with that. I just thought it was very interesting. I don't think people should be out here wasting votes. He said we're the young people, no one cares about us, but that's not exactly true. The young people are out there making the money. They're keeping the world going around. Because as you get older, you're not going to be doing doubles and shit like that. You're going to be retiring while we're starting our life.
Well, and I think that a reason that people look at young people that way is because young people aren't voting. So then young people are pissed off that things aren't going their way. But we are literally giving this power to the baby boomers and the Generation X.
Right.
These people that we might not agree with. And then we're getting upset about it.
Right.
No, you're wasting your vote.
Yeah, because I'm like, you can't sit there and complain about something that you don't like a policy if you're not doing your part to vote. Like, I'll be honest. I really can't complain about Donald Trump, whatever, because I did not vote. Because I really thought Hillary had it in the bag. I'll be honest. I thought she had it in the bag. She was going to win. I didn't vote. I really can't complain about what's going on, but I can say something. I'm like, I just really thought that she was going to win. And my vote, even though I lived in New York, it would have been counted as in Florida. And I'm like, Florida is a Democratic state, but it's not. It's purple. And I just didn't think Donald Trump was going to win. I didn't think it. I'm sorry.
But can also, whenever you were saying about if the 3% that voted for Jill Stein or whatever was for Hillary, think about this. Hillary won the popular vote.
Right.
So that 3% wouldn't have mattered.
Well, it's not the popular vote. It's the Electoral College.
That's what decides it. So that's what I'm saying. All these write-in votes, it didn't matter. That wouldn't have changed anything.
Well, no. Like, if you didn't write-in vote, let's say let's say I think in Florida, I can't remember the right amount of percentage, but it was very neck and neck. So let's say like Donald Trump won Florida by 2%. That 2% that Jill Stein had and the other person had could have went to Hillary, and she could have won the Electoral College, because that's what makes you president. The Electoral College,
which is comprised of politicians.
Yeah, which is like she didn't win the state, so that's why she didn't win. She didn't win Florida, she didn't win Ohio, the battleground states. Mm-hmm. So I do believe they should get rid of Electoral College, because that was only created back in the day because they didn't have television. You couldn't be a politician. You couldn't campaign everywhere.
Right.
So everyone, if you didn't get a chance to see who it was, you read about them in the paper or whatever or not, you could have a vote, and your vote would matter.
At the very least, it needs some reform.
Yeah.
To that way there are no.
It does need reform. I just think popular vote should be whoever got the most votes, you're the winner. Doesn't matter what if you won Arkansas or Alaska. No, if you won the most votes in America, you won. And she did won by 3 million votes. Or,
I'm not sure exactly.
I can't remember.
But I know it was
a decent
substantial amount, Two sides.
So, all right. So last week we were talking about Kamala Harris, and I couldn't debate with you because I didn't read the article that you read, but I learned, I read, I grew, and I still disagree. I disagree with when you said that she was locking them up, trans woman. So what we were talking about last week, Kamala Harris actually stated that she had some trouble with the trans community, and there is a history there. A couple of years ago, I think it was in 2015. My memory is that good. She appealed for. She was Attorney General in California. She appealed for a trans prisoner. They wanted to get sexual reassignment surgery, so she appealed that ruling. She still won. She won regardless. Not Kamala. I can't remember. I think her name is Michelle Noseworthy. She still won, but she appealed it. I just don't disagree when you say that she's against giving, like, she wasn't like giving them medical treatment. That was the only thing that she wasn't giving them was the sexual reassignment surgery. And they had everything else. They had, they had their hormones, they had therapy, whatever or not, but they had a problem with giving inmates sexual reassignment. And one of the person that we were speaking, that's in the article, he committed second-degree murder. And I think I don't know if you still are still strong about that, but I think it wasn't her when she wrote that statement, because she said, "I take full responsibility for my office." She's a state attorney.
Right.
She has different clients. Like, it wasn't the state attorney, attorney general, that was appealing it. It was the Department of Corrections. They were appealing it, and she represented them.
Right.
So I mean, I can't say that that's her point of view and how she feels, because she said, "I disagree with a lot of things that my office did." I just kind of wanted to see how you still feel about that.
Mm-hmm. See, so like with her response to this, it was pretty vague. She said that she didn't necessarily agree with everything that they did, but she was still representing a department, and she had to go along with what they did. She said in one we were discussing earlier that she was going against the current, and now she's changed her views and been vocal about it because the current is going the same way that she is or something.
Yeah.
My issue with that is, if you were going against the current, why weren't you speaking about it? Why weren't you vocally opposing any of this? Why weren't you saying, yes, I have to do this because it's my job, but it does not line up with what I believe? Because by not saying anything, you're kind of condoning it by not speaking against it. So how come for years she was supposedly against this, but didn't say anything, but just kept doing it?
This is recent. Like,
but she said that during her term, she was going against the current internally. Yeah. But my thing is, during that time, she wasn't saying anything or doing anything to show that she was against the current. She's only saying that now whenever it's favorable for her in an election.
But at the same time that you say that, why is she getting all the heat for this? Because she wasn't the governor. She's not making the laws. She's the attorney general. She's practicing the law. So at the same time, why isn't Joe Biden, why isn't Pete Buttigieg, why isn't any other candidate why are they not getting that ire from you? Because this situation happened. Like I said, for me, this situation happened. She's doing her job. She's not against it. She didn't want them to have, she appealed, the Department of Corrections appealed their sexual reassignment ruling, surgery. I think it had a lot to do with money, and honestly, as a taxpayer myself, I wouldn't be okay with that. I understand that you are incarcerated and you're a human being, but you're not in jail for doing a good thing. You're still a criminal, and that's tax money that can go to other things that are helping people who aren't doing the same thing. Like, the scope that I see that your argument is, it's so small. It's only incarcerating a trans woman. She wasn't against like free trans girls. You know what I mean? She wasn't against that. Just the only thing she appealed was that sexual reassignment surgery. And I'm sorry, if you're in jail, that's an expensive surgery. And I think that's why they appealed it. Not because of they have hatred or whatever. That's the real reason. See, I mean, you said the article, the guy who wrote the article, he also said her response was vague. But at the same time, being a business person, you have to be everyone's president.
Yeah,
you
fair
have
enough.
to be everyone's president. Mm-hmm. And she said we take full responsibility. I get that. I work for Dr. Barbecue. I don't agree with everything they do. Mm-hmm. Hell no.
But you're vocal about it. You speak out whenever they do something that you don't agree with. That's the difference.
Well, this is a political attack. I don't think she would have spoken. What is she gonna say? Like, there's to me, there's no meat to this story. It's not. Because when I was telling you last week, I didn't hear it in the media. There's no meat to it. It happened. It wasn't her office doing it. It was the Department of Corrections. Thank you.
Okay, all right.
Corrections,
I thought you were gonna get it. I was waiting.
It was them. It wasn't actually her. Now, I can say, yeah, you can be out there vocally speaking about it, but she's also, I'll run this by you, she's also a black woman, too. And a lot of people in the black community they're not okay with being gay or being trans. Like, hey, look where I live. Like, you know.
You're against it, right?
No. But no, I mean, it is a conversation that I've had with a lot of other African Americans in the gay community that, you know, their family is not really behind them. So maybe that's why she said that's how she said, that's how she answered, that's how she responded. That's why it seemed vague. But like I said, you have to be everyone's president. But I don't think that article that dude wrote, there's no meat in that. Like, she's doing her job, just like Joe Biden when she was saying about the busing. I could say that he could have voted for that because he was a politician. His vote could have mattered, but when you're a client, she's like, this is my client. I have to represent them. This is part of my job. She also, what was mentioned in the article, she refused to represent the case to appeal Proposition 8, the gay marriage.
Oh, yeah.
She refused to represent that. So, I mean, we can say anything, but actions speak louder than words. I mean, she did this job, whatever or not, but I agree with her. If they weren't getting like hormone things like that in therapy, that's cruel and unusual punishment. But you want to get this whole free, expensive surgery, I would think that it wouldn't just be her constituents have a problem with it. Other citizens who have nothing to do with it have a problem with it because they're like, this is thousands of dollars being spent on one person when literally you will still live. Right. You know, I just wanted to bring that up because I wanted to read the article. I'm like, where did she?
Well, like, and my question with that, and we discussed this earlier, and it differs based on prisons, but it goes for classification. So if say you have a trans woman, if she has not gone through gender reassignment surgery, is she going to be placed with male inmates? Versus if she did have the surgery, she'd be placed with female inmates. In cases like that, I think, yes, it is a necessary surgery then, or it should just be reclassified because that's a woman. You know, that's where I have an issue with it. But that's the thing. It depends.
That wasn't Kamala Harris. That's right. California state law. Now, if she was the governor of that state, I think your argument would have a lot of meat to it because, like, you can veto certain things as a governor. Mm-hmm. You have certain powers, but I just didn't. I wanted to bring that up because like it was a state policy. It's still a very nuanced situation. I feel it's very new. People don't know how to like deal with it because women. If I was a woman who isn't woke or small-minded.
Okay.
And you have this man who's saying that she's a woman living with me in my prison cell. They would probably have a problem with that too. Like, because a lot of the stories they were saying that some of them were raped or they were even beaten. Who's to say that you won't get beat up with a whole bunch of not real girls, a bunch of biological women? They would feel. I would think they would feel uncomfortable because one of the arguments in North Carolina about the whole bathroom rule was like women didn't want men or like creepo perverts dressing as women to go in the woman's bathroom. So I mean,
so then maybe there should be a completely different wing. I know a lot of
Well, that's what she
prisons
said, she
have a
needed
gay
more
and
understanding.
transgender wing where they separate those individuals because they're at risk of being victimized.
Right. Because I've been in jail before, and they have separated me because I am gay. I'm a gay man. They were like, we don't want anything to happen to you, you know. But anywho.
Yeah, that's a completely different can of worms. Kamala Harris is canceled, basically.
Cancel culture. That's our next topic. So this cancel culture. See, like, this is new culture. Like, you know, like you hear a story online, like let's say Harvey Weinstein or Bill Cosby. When those stories came out, automatically these actors were canceled. Like, just a couple of weeks ago, Deborah Messing wanted to get a blacklist of whoever supports Trump, any actor or director, whatever. She wanted to know so they didn't have to work with them, and she's basically canceling them. So I think it's a very interesting culture because I feel like some people cancel things without doing the proper research. Like with this last topic we just talked about, I'm like, I don't agree with. It wasn't her. It wasn't Kamala Harris doing it. So I mean, like, we're canceling so many things, and we're not really learning why. Why am I not listening to this music? Like R. Kelly. I watched R. Kelly's documentary, but then again, I also know that R. Kelly has had he's had situations of dating underage girls for years, starting with Aaliyah, but who knows where that started. But we all know that about him. Mm-hmm. So this whole cancel culture, I don't understand it. I get it. I'm glad it's here because Roseanne, they canceled her show after she basically compared this woman to a monkey, which is an old school racist ass joke. And there was accountability for it. ABC accounted for that. So what did you want to say? What are we?
What I'm having issue with in your argument right now is you're saying that it was justified for Roseanne to be canceled because she made a racist remark, but it's not justified for Weinstein to be canceled because he literally committed sexual harassment.
I didn't say that. Did I say that?
That's how I was interpreting
I didn't mean that. No,
okay.
no.
Okay.
Oh, I mean like we just brought up Kamala Harris. Like you used to like Kamala. Mm-hmm. She used to like Kamala Harris, guys.
I did.
She did.
Can you believe it?
And now you're up in
Warren.
arms against her. But then you didn't like Warren at first.
I know, and now it's completely changed.
And then you like she's a capitalist, and now it's changed. So I mean,
I'm canceled.
So I mean, it's the information we're getting. So tell us.
Yeah.
Tell us why.
So I think that you can't automatically cancel somebody just because they say something controversial. It could be because they're not educated. There was a time in my life, because I grew up in a very conservative household, where I was racist.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And homophobic. Ugh, all these disgusting things. But now look at me.
Look at her now.
Look, I have a gay friend. I have a black friend. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That was terrible.
Yes. Yes.
Thanks. Anyway, so I was raised with those beliefs. I believed them for a long time. But I was fortunate enough to be educated on these matters and educated about diversity and people who aren't like me. And that made me change my way of thinking. So whereas 2009, Ashley would have been totally canceled in today's society. Right. Screw her. Cancel that bitch. She's dead. 2019 Ashley is woke. She is approved. I don't know. What's the opposite of canceled?
Approved. I approve this message. But you know, but basically what you just explained to me is about growing up, like growing into adulthood. Like, I mean, you're 21 now, and so like after a couple of years, I'm 31. 10 years from now, you're gonna see the world completely different. Because at different times we have different needs, we have different wants. But back to this cancel culture thing, like it's.
Well, what you were saying is we need to be, because we are so rapidly changing all the time, we have to have this realm that we're allowed to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. Right. If you automatically say that someone's wrong and completely write them off for doing one bad thing without educating them on why what they did is wrong, they're never going to have the opportunity to change.
Right.
And that's wrong as someone who I don't know how to phrase this correctly, because there's no right way to believe, but as someone who believes the right way, you have an obligation to inform somebody, as someone who's more educated in a topic, I should say.
Right, because I was having a discussion with this guy about police brutality, and we were saying this earlier. He was saying that a lot of times I see that people are getting shot. This is not, well, I'll get to the point. A lot of times I see people get shot by the police because they're not listening, and we kind of debated about that a little bit. And I could have canceled this dude and never talked to him again because I believe that's kind of ignorant. Because I asked him, I said, so when did the punishment for insubordination become murder? You know, you're going to kill someone. Hello? Like, they have tasers, so you have a choice. So we argued about it. I didn't, like, cancel him and not talk to him anymore because then I'm trying to educate him from my point of view. Because he's like, well, if you listen to the police, I'm like, well, you have to understand that the people of color, a lot of minorities, they have issues with the cops. And let's not pretend that this is not happening in America. They have made movies about this. It's in history books.
Turn on the news every single day.
Turn on the news. If you ever watch Fox News, if they ever mention last time they mentioned a black guy got shot, they're like, oh, he has a criminal record. I'm like, that doesn't make it okay that he's dead. Like, you know, a lot of people have criminal records. Like, is white collar not a crime? That's a crime. If he gets shot, you're going to say the same thing?
Does Becky deserve to die?
Yeah, who's Becky?
From Full House. That's her name, right?
She should go to jail. She should go to jail. I respect Felicity Huffman. Just really fast. Now, who's cancel culture?
Felicity went for 2 weeks.
She went for 2 weeks?
She's sentenced to 2 weeks.
That's bullshit, though. Okay, we're going to get off topic a little bit, but, like, that's bullshit. But at least I will say this about that whole college scandal thing, the bribery shit. It's cheating, dude. They pay people to cheat for their
fraud.
It's fraud. And okay, I can respect Felicity Huffman. Because
she owned it.
She owned it. I
was like, I'm a fucking criminal.
I think she should have gone to jail for a little bit longer, because 2 weeks ain't shit. Because, yeah.
She needs to get her ass beat.
Yeah, no.
I'm kidding.
No, but I think, you took an opportunity from someone else, from some other child, for your daughter, who honestly does not deserve to be there. So how dare you ask for, like, lighter sentencing? First they were giving her a month, now it's 2 weeks. Bitch, you could have went there for 6 months, because then you'll never do this shit again. And it will send a message to every other family that if you get caught doing this, bribing someone to get your child into school, you'll have the same treatment. How dare you? And then Lori Loughlin, she's like, we're not guilty. Fuck out of here. Did they make this shit up? No.
I love the New York accent. That's how we know he's passionate.
But it makes me so upset to see that woman. That's like the epitome of white privilege. If you're okay with me saying that, that's the epitome of white privilege. Because she's like, they got her dead to rights. But in our country, yes, you are guilty until proven innocent. But
you're innocent.
Innocent. I'm sorry. You're innocent. Until that's my brother.
Guilty.
Until you're proven guilty. But still, they have you dead to rights, and she just won't apologize. She should apologize, because now that her daughter doesn't want to go to school, she's in the school, but someone else who worked their asses off.
Are the kids still in school?
No, I don't think so. I don't know.
I imagine that they got pulled real quick.
Hopefully. But that means that someone else who deserved to be there isn't there. And I'm a victim. I wanted to go to a lot of schools when I was a kid, but it costs so much, but if you audition for them and make it in, I'm an actor, you make it in, that's a big deal for you. And they're 18 years old and you're taking opportunities from someone else. She should have went to jail for like a year. Fuck
and
out
that's
of here.
the tea.
That's the tea.
She's canceled. Cancel that bitch. Okay.
No, it's fucked up.
It is.
All right.
It is.
What else you got for cancel culture? I'm good.
Oh, I did want to say, cancel culture, you should not be canceling people who maybe say racist things, homophobic, transphobic, so on and so forth, misogynistic. Educate them. Where you can cancel people is if they rape people,
right.
If they abuse people, like all these athletes, if they commit a crime,
That's not funny. Yeah,
it's a little
but
funny.
yeah.
If you commit a crime, cancel the fuck out of them. But if they do a social faux pas, which it's a little more intense
Everyone
than that,
does.
if they're being a little xenophobic, try to educate them because maybe they just don't know.
They don't know. Some people don't. And then some people don't want to know. So that's when you can cancel them.
Yes.
I think you should cancel someone, like, once you've done your research. Because I feel like a lot of, right now, it's a lot of the things that are happening. It's like the public court of law. It's like however, like, the society feels, you're guilty. You know, like, I'm still not over Bill Cosby going to jail. Harvey Weinstein's still walking out free. That's bullshit.
No.
I just wanted to say, I mean, hey, if we would do the same thing, I mean, we all do the same crime, should be the same punishment. Just saying.
And we all know how that is.
Dude's like 80-something. He's like 70-something, 80-something in jail. Why? I mean, I get why, but
raped people.
He did bad things, but, like, I think it should go to everyone. If you're gonna do the same thing, like Felicity Huffman, honestly, there have been women with Felicity Huffman. There have been women that went to jail for 5 years for like changing the address of their child's home so they can go to a better school.
I just saw that article.
Yeah,
I know what you're
fuck out of here. Oh, can I get less time because I'm a celebrity? No, bitch. She should have been in jail. Anyways, that just makes me angry. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry that I brought it up. I can tell.
I'm glad you did.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
How does this make you feel?
Well, so this next one, I was talking to a friend last night, and it's basically the difference between a hookup and relationship. Like, he told me a story how him and this dude hooked up, and now he's getting ghosted. And he was upset. So my question is, should you be upset? Because...
Let's define ghosting for anyone who might not know.
Okay.
It's basically, I'm going to laugh because it's happened to me so many times. This is like uncomfortable laughter. I know it so well. So getting ghosted means that you're talking to someone, maybe all the time, maybe whenever you want to have sex, and then out of nowhere, they're gone.
Nothing.
They're a ghost. It's like they never existed. Suddenly you're blocked on everything. Message isn't delivered, straight to voice. No, not even voicemail. You've been fucking blocked, bitch. You don't exist to them anymore. Happens like that. All right, the end. Go on. Just in case no one knew what that meant. I'm not bitter.
So, no. So, yeah, he's like, after we hooked up, he ghosted me. So my question is, should he be angry about that? Because you can kind of tell if you're meeting someone for, like, the first time and you're just sleeping with them, that it probably is not going to go anywhere. I mean, I don't know what you think. Oh, shit.
I have some opinions.
I mean, okay, I'm going to go first then.
Yeah. Good idea.
Here's my thing. I know, like, I hook up, not a lot. I'm popular. Look, my body is a wonderland. Is popular. No, I can tell when I'm seeing someone that if it's just a one night thing, you know, or it's just a hookup, we're gonna be friends, or I can also tell the difference between that and if I'm seeing someone and making a commitment to them and making a foundation for a relationship. There are certain actions that I will do. I will call you back. I will text you. You know, I will text you in the morning. You know, like, oh, or like, good morning, or, you know, during the day, how's your day? My day sucks. I will tell you how I feel. I feel like when you're dating someone, you are becoming almost like the same person. Like, you share your thoughts. Like, you're almost telepathic. Versus when you're just having a hookup, you're only, like, sharing thoughts for, like, one night just to get what you need. If that. You know, so, I mean, I can tell the difference. And it's been a long time since I've been upset about not talking to someone after we hooked up. It's been a long time for me. Like, I haven't risen above, but it's been a long time for me that I get upset about that because I kind of know now. I can kind of tell the difference between the two. Ashley, what did you...
Yeah. This one hits a little close to home.
It's a little close.
Yeah, because I like to hook up. I don't... Yeah, I like to have sex. And
yeah, same. Me too.
I feel like our society, our generations, because we're in two different generations,
right,
especially mine, we are more open sexually than we ever have been before. Mm-hmm. So hooking up on the first date isn't abnormal.
Right.
Whereas before, if you hook up on the first date, that's it. It is a hookup. That's all it is, because you slept on the first date. But now we see people have sex on the first date and they go on to be together for years.
I mean, that can happen. That does happen. It can.
So I don't think that it's fair to assume hookup culture, if that makes sense. Because you never really know. I think that this is where communication is vital. The what are we conversation sucks.
But it has to happen.
That's like one of the first things that I ask on Tinder is, what are you here for? What are you looking for? I'm up front. I'm like, I would like something to turn into something serious. And then they'll be like, well, I just want to put my dick in your vagina. Or whatever. Oh, I have some crazy stories. A little off topic. Let me tell you real quick. There's this one guy. He was like 6'6". I'm 5'2". He was like, we were talking. It was nice. I thought we were going to go on a date. And he was like, man, you're perfect blowjob height. You don't even have to get on your knees. But he was upfront and honest about what he wanted from me.
Guys are such skis bags sometimes. That's such a disgusting, I mean...
It was kind of funny. Because I was just imagining me, like, standing up, sucking dick. No one else get that visual. Oh, no. Anyway... Well, speaking of Tinder...
Welcome to Sex with Ashley.
You can catch even more on YouTube. Fulfill all your little fantasies.
Go ahead, Ash.
So, talking about Tinder, because we've had this conversation before. Shawn.
Wait, what did I do?
You're welcome to disagree, but if I remember correctly, you told me that Tinder is for hooking up, and that you should be on there knowing that it's for hooking up.
Like, Grindr. I think Grindr's for hooking up. Tinder's kind of the same, and you can go to a relationship, but...
Yeah. See, I don't think that you should... hang on, let me see what I wrote.
But I did say
do
something...
dating apps insinuate that you're going to hook up? I feel in our society, yes, but that doesn't mean that it also isn't going to be something serious.
Right.
I think that it's really hard to distinguish it, at least in my generation, because we have the fuck boy and fuck girl phenomenon. So, yeah, most of the time you can just communicate and know right off the bat.
What are you talking to me when you said fuck?
No, that's not what I meant. First I yell at you, and then... No.
For that one time you're like, okay, keep going.
I'm about to start projecting again.
Keep going.
They're, these guys, in my experience, have, we've hooked up or whatever. They talk to me all day long, you know, call me baby, good morning, whatever. And then I'm like, oh, do you want to, like, go get dinner? Do you want to go on a date? And they're like, huh, I'm just fucking you, you bitch.
Not like that.
No, they don't say it like that. But
yeah.
The point is it's hard to make that distinction now because you have a bunch of people who are essentially leading you on because they don't want to stop hooking up with you. When it's as simple as just saying, hey, I want a friend with benefits. I just want to have a long-term hookup. No one's communicating, and that's what it boils down to.
As I was saying earlier in our previous discussion, I was saying actions speak louder than words. Like, if I'm into you, there are certain things that your behavior changes. You know what I mean? Like, we're still animals. Like, we're human beings, but we're still animals out in a sense.
Especially in the sheets.
Okay. But we're still animals, and, like, men are very protective. So, like, if they have something, I read somewhere in this book that
I'm not yours, though.
No, but I read something, wait, hold on. I read something in this book one time that said that a man will only get serious with someone if they have the feeling they may lose that person. And I'm not going to lie. I can give you all these dating tips, but it's like playing games and shit. It's like mind games. It's kind of like...
Why are we doing that to people?
I don't know.
Why can't we just be upfront?
I'm upfront. But some people have a problem getting their feelings out.
They need therapy.
See, we have this show here. Obviously, we don't have a problem getting our feelings out and getting our words out. We don't have a problem
I'm literally having a mental breakdown right now, obviously.
No. But, like, some people have problems getting their feelings out. They don't know how to communicate what they want.
So they lie to people and make them think that it's something more than what it is?
Well, maybe they don't know.
So we can't cancel them?
Not yet. Until you do further research. Because sometimes, I'll be honest, I won't know I like someone. Like, never mind, I can't mention that. I'll say it. Like this guy I like now, I didn't know I had a crush on him until after the fact. Until like we didn't hook up or anything like that. But I didn't. We're just friends. But I didn't know I was actually attracted to him in a sexual way. Until like known him for a bit, and that sometimes like love at first sight. That's unnormal for me. Like usually I'm like, oh, I want that dick, and then I fall in love with you. I mean, then I'm like, I want a relationship, but this person is we're friends, and now I have questioned him. Forgot where I was going.
I'm not sure either.
No, I got it. Hold on, I got it. I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing this bitch back. Hold on, there's that thought. This is what happens when you smoke some weed, girl. But sometimes you don't know if that person, if you want to be serious with them, you gotta like. That's why we casual date sometimes because you're not sure. That's why I think I do agree when you say you do have to have that. What are we conversation? It has to happen. You have to have
some point.
At some point, and it sucks. It's like going to the dentist. You have to do it, but you don't want to. So I think. I don't know. I just think that we should really like work on communicating. That's the only problem with that.
Yeah, that's what it boils down to. If you communicate with each other, then we won't have these blurry lines between hookup and dating.
Right.
Which is causing a lot of internal, I can speak for myself, a lot of internal anger. Frustration, whatever it might be.
Well, dating is a contact sport. I feel like dating is a sport.
I like that.
I think it's a contact sport. You're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. You're gonna meet some people that really vibe with. You're gonna meet some people that you're not gonna vibe with. It's
meet
just
some people that you're gonna tackle for one reason, and meet some people that are gonna tackle for another
reason. But it's just like once you like I said, I'm 31 now, and after like a couple of years ago, I realized I can tell the difference between a casual hookup and someone that I want to have a long-term relationship with. And the way to tell the difference is just look at that other person's actions. Not like everyone can say good morning to you in the morning, but look at their actions. Do they show up? Do they call you? Like, do they want to go out and have lunch? Sometimes you dodge bullets. Like, think about it.
That's true.
Like, have you ever seen that guy in high school that you used to have a crush on, and you never got in, and then you see him now, and they're all like
disgusting.
Ugly. Yeah.
Yes.
Like child ridden and like.
Oh, this sounds
personal. Should have hit this. Yeah.
We're not salty here. There's no salt.
Oh, I'm salty. I'm sassy. I do it. I say I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Anyway, so that's the show today, guys. Yeah?
Yeah, I think that was a really nice
episode. Okay. So I will be at Iberian Rooster Wednesday night at 12 a.m. Midnight for the show at Fresh Start Drag Showcase hosted by Adriana Sparkle and Aquarius. I'll be there Wednesday. And Ashley,
I'll be at home eating a pint of ice cream and crying to Netflix rom-coms. So, catch me there.
So we'll see you guys next time. Again, I'm Shawn Nicholas, a.k.a. Desire Some More. And next to me we have...
Ashley Renee, host of Sex with Ashley Renee on YouTube. Hit that subscribe.
Hit it. And always, guys, have a little bit more common courtesy.